Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Tonight, Senate President approves a request for an extension of state of emergency in northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe. House of Representatives may shove the president's powers, pushes to approve bills without the president's assent. Rights groups accuse oil giant Shell of manipulating oil spill investigations in Nigeria, say companies' claims on oil pollution are often untrue. Pakistan's Taliban name hardliner commander Mullah Fazlullah a successor to the former leader killed in a drone attack. All our top stories and other programs can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows Phone from your respective stores. Well, you can now interact with Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have a picture or video to share with us, all you need to do is download the Channels TV Android application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. Well, from our Lagos studios to our Abuja studios, where Linda Kigbe is standing by with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks, Suleiman. And now the news from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Rights groups, Amnesty International and the Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development, CHRD, say that oil giant Shell has manipulated oil spill investigations in Nigeria, with the company's claims on oil pollution in the region deeply suspect and often untrue. At Amnesty International and CHRD's request, the independent U.S. oil pipeline specialist Equifax assessed a number of oil spill investigation reports as well as responses from oil companies operating in the Niger Delta and the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA. The experts found cases where the stated cause of an oil spill appears to be wrongly attributed to sabotage. According to the experts, in many other cases, sabotage was listed as a cause when there was little or no data recorded to back up the claim. Overall, Equifax concluded that many official investigation reports were technically incomplete and others appeared to be serving another agenda more driven by politics than pipeline forensic science. Niger Delta residents say that aside from suffering from decades of oil pollution, they have largely not benefited from more than 6 decades of crude production, with much of the energy revenue stolen through wild-scale corruption. In the meantime, Shell says that it firmly rejects what it describes as unsubstantiated assertions that the oil giant has exaggerated the impact of crude oil theft and sabotage to distract attention from operational performance. A press statement issued by Shell spokesman Precious Okolobo says that Shell seeks to bring greater transparency and independent oversight to the issue of oil spills and will continue to find ways to enhance this. According to Shell, these efforts include publishing spill data online since January 2011 and working with Bureau Veritas, an independent third party, to find ways to improve the immediate response to a spill. Shell emphasizes that the joint investigation process is a federal process that SPDC cannot unilaterally change, involving as it does representatives of regulatory bodies, the Ministry of Environment, the Nigerian Police Force, state government, and impacted communities. SPDC in a statement regrets that some NGOs continue to take a campaigning approach rather than focusing on underground solutions that bring societal benefits. And staying with the oil sector, a Swiss non-governmental group, the Ben Declaration, has accused Swiss-based commodity traders of profiting from what it describes as opaque joint ventures with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. The Ben Declaration said in a press release that every year Nigerian state coffers lose billions of dollars as large volumes of oil are exported for well below market price, and the subsidy scheme for imports of refined crude oil products is systematically defrauded. It says the trading companies Vitol and Trafigura had exclusive and transparent partnerships with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), which had given them over 26% of market share. According to the NGO, Nigerian authorities have requested legal assistance from Switzerland to help them investigate 5 Geneva trading firms. Vitol, contacted by the Bern Declaration, acknowledged that it had received requests for information from the Swiss authorities on behalf of the Nigerians and added that it was happy to work with the competent authorities. A joint patrol team in Kogi State has discovered an illegal refinery located at Budo village on the bank of the River Niger. The state's NNS Lugard commander, Commodore Timothy Dakwat, told journalists that no arrest was made as the suspects took to their heels when they noticed the patrol team. The team recovered over 83 drums, which was filled with substance suspected to be refined oil.
On hearing the noise of the engine, and because it was night, you understand, they took off into the forest. Yes, all attempts made to this, because the place is swampy too. You understand. In any case, they know the terrain more than we do. You understand. Of course, they couldn't live with these fixed structures. We had over 200 liter drums, about 83. And then, you know, some other quantities of jerry cans and so on. Refined, you know, illegally refined products, that is. Suspiciously diesel. EGO.
It's been 4 months since the nation's public universities came under lock and key as a result of industrial action declared by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. But after the meeting between President Goodluck Jonathan and the ASU leadership in Abuja on Monday night, lasting till Tuesday morning, the mood of Nigerians about the strike may have begun to change. This is because there are indications that the sum of 1.1 trillion naira may have been approved for the universities over a period of 5 years. And our big story tonight, our correspondent Henry Ogunjimi examines the effect of the strike on students, their parents, the society, and the nation's economy.
Instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
For the over 4 months that the nation's university classrooms have been deserted, parents, students, and the larger society have had to bear the brunt. There has been loss of productive time, resources, and a slowdown or complete halt of businesses within and around the university communities. There may also have been the issue of brain drain during this period. Earlier, I spoke to a seasoned educator, parent, and proprietress, Professor Abiola Woshika. Here are thoughts on the matter.
I don't see anything wrong with the president wading in on it. This is a matter of national concern. We are all concerned that our children are back home. No matter how little that they pay for tuition, their life is flying by. They just lost 4 months of their lives that they could be on the market and be useful for this nation. I've got like 2 or 3 university students in my household. One of them is working on her project, getting ready to finish, and now she's stuck. She can't move forward, she can't go back.
More than 1 million other students are stuck. This may not be news. What may be is how they have put their free time to use. For Ifeoluwa Kayode, a 22-year-old Part 4 student of English language at the Lagos State University, and many other undergraduates across the country, the period has provided them with the opportunity to learn a trade and make ends meet.
An idle man is the devil's workshop, so I'd rather be doing something productive than, you know, sit around and do nothing. Just try to keep myself busy. I'm learning to sew, and after this I plan to go into makeup and, you know, stuff. The government should, you know, do something about it, help us to get back to school. We don't like it like this, you know. We need to move on with our lives and time is ticking.
Because of the strike, that's why we're working here. I've worked here for like 2 months. We are not wasting our time out there doing rubbish things that will not favor us. Try and do decent things, I mean.
We have to come here to, like, first of all, our own daily bread. So it will not be funny anyway.
Really, they are delaying us in terms of our academics. So we really plead with the government to do something on it, to find a lasting solution to the strike, so that at least we can come back to school again.
This situation also has its effect on the economy of the nation, directly or indirectly. Professor Akpan Eko, an economist at the West African Institute of Financial and Economic Management, dissects the impact.
In any system, you don't allow a strike to go more than 1 week. Once you start going to 2, 3, 4 months, it will affect the economy. 4 months is a quarter in the economy, almost a quarter in the economy. By the time you look at the fact that in all universities, federal and states, there are semi-business centers, there are activities going on, buying and selling, a lot of work going on. If this comes to a standstill, definitely it will affect the output of the economy. So there's an output loss. Without the precise number in terms of naira also is difficult to ascertain, but the impact will be felt later on. Because if, for example, your best brain in terms of students, in terms of lecturers, who may also decide that 4 months is too long, let's get out, they might not make contributions where they are, rather make those contributions in their own country.
However, there's been a level of optimism that ASU's return from their consultations would be positive.
So let's take what we can get right now. Let's get back to work. Let our students get back to the business of education, and hopefully we can come back again and renegotiate. I can feel it in my bones. I think we're gonna see the end of this pretty soon.
According to the 2009 agreement, ASU's demand runs to hundreds of billions of naira to address infrastructure decay in the universities, and about 92 billion naira as end allowances, figures which the federal government has said it cannot afford. Meanwhile, since the federal government's recent offer to the union has not been disclosed by either of the parties, expectations are that compromises will be made in order to move the nation's education sector forward. For The Big Story, I am Henry Ogunjimi, reporting for Channels Television News.
Indomie instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
And that's all from the FCT. Now back to you, Suleiman.
Well, many thanks, Linda. And when the News at 10 returns, Senate approves over 315 billion naira budget for the Niger Delta Development Commission. That's on Business News.